Good morning everybody, happy Monday. I've just pulled up down at Sainsburys to do the weekly food shop. Now I did toy with the idea of going food shopping today in Marks and Spencer's because there seems to be a bit of a trend going on TikTok at the moment with people going and doing their food shops in Marks and Spencer's and then filming it and saying how cheap it was and how reasonable it was, and it certainly looked from the TikToks I watched that it was reasonable. However, we were passing by our nearest M&S food hall, which is in the next town, yesterday on the way back from soft play, so I said let's stop and just scout it out before I drive back over that way today to do the shopping and then could find out that it's not going to work for us. So we stopped just to have a little scout out and see what it is, and it is too expensive for us for the size of the family that we've got. Now I think it could be reasonable for smaller, like, you know, if you're just a couple, you've just got one child. I think that their pack sizes are quite small. So I looked at a couple of items. I looked at mince, and that was 12% fat mince, and it was 750 grams, and it was £4.50. Now in Sainsbury's I can get 5% fat mince, 750 grams for under £4.50, so I get a better quality for less money. I looked at chicken breast. The only pack I could find was 2 breasts in a pack, and obviously I buy like a kilogram pack with like 5 or 6 breasts in it, and that was £4 I think it was for just 2 breasts, and I pay £6.19 for a kilogram pack, so like 3 times the amount. So straight away I was thinking this isn't going to work for us. It might be that our food hall just isn't as big as others, the ones that I've like watched TikToks of. I've had comments on here from people saying that their Sainsbury's doesn't stock the Hubbard and the J. James, the cheaper ranges, because their store is smaller. So it might be the case that our store, our local or local-ish, the most local to us, M&S, isn't very big and doesn't stock as much stuff as what some of the other M&S's may well stock. So I'm at Sainsbury's, in my good old faithful Sainsbury's, where I know where everything is and I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to go and do the food shopping. I had a bit of a cross comment actually from someone on last week's food haul, it might be the week before, where someone was quite rude about and they were quite territorial over Aldi, and they were like, Aldi is cheaper and not everyone has a Sainsbury's discount card. And I've always said that we get colleague discount because Jamie works here, and I know that not everyone gets that, so therefore Sainsbury's probably isn't cheaper for a lot of people. But when I take into consideration the discount, it brings a lot of products in Sainsbury's to either the same price as Aldi or slightly cheaper. But yeah, it was really quite cross and really quite rude. But I'm finding some people are very they're like in Sainsbury's, in Aldi's corner, and ready to fight anyone that dares to say that Aldi isn't as cheap as what they claim to be. But I thought what I'll do is I'll take you guys shopping with me today, and show some of the products that I know are cheaper than other supermarkets. And I'm not going to do like a Aldi versus Sainsbury's, because I don't think any supermarket needs people in their boxing corner, but it certainly has become, I feel, a much more competitive supermarket. It used to be like Sainsbury's was the most expensive, don't go to Sainsbury's, you'll need a bank loan. But actually it's very competitive against a lot of the other supermarkets now. So yeah, we're going to go in and do a week's food shop. And have I made a meal plan for the week? No, I haven't. So I'm winging it. How long have we all been using reusable bags for? And I still walk all the way to the supermarket through the car park and forget my bags and have to walk all the way back to the car. Every time. Every single time. of there. Just had a quick drink of fizzy water because I'm gasping. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold, you know, like stuffy nose. So I was gasping for a drink. I hope I've managed to show you a few comparisons of things. I was just picking out bits that I buy every week that I know are either cheaper or on par with Aldi, or cheaper once I've used my discount. Meat has gone up in price since last week, so I said that I pay £6.19 for a kilogram of chicken. That's now £6.39. So chicken breasts have gone up by 20 pence a pack. What had gone down? I feel like the mince had gone down by 10p. So they've done this new reduced packaging thing. So I don't know whether they've reduced the price a little bit because they've reduced the packaging, and people are probably going to say, well, if you're not using that much packaging, why is the price still the same? But that had gone down. I'm sure that had gone down by, I think, around 10p. So there was a little bit of a saving there, which counteracted the price increase a bit on the chicken. One thing they've never got, which I always want to buy, but the last several weeks they've not had any, is their own brand of shreddies. Felicity loves the shreddies for her breakfast, but they've not had any in there for weeks. So I bought her some, like their version of Cheerios. But that's one thing that I think they do really well in there, is their own brand cereal. What else did I notice today? Not really a lot. Just a few things have gone up in price, but nothing too drastic. Anyway, I was hoping Kev would have finished work so I could pick him up and he could come home and put it away. But he's just told me it's going to be 40 minutes, which is a real pain in the butt, because the time it takes me to drive home, take the shopping out of the car, I won't even have time to unpack it before I'm going to go and pick him up from work. I mean, he could walk, but I want help. He always cleans the fridge out and puts the fresh stuff away, and he does it really well. We're kind of a good team on shopping day. He finishes early. I vlog it for you guys, and he puts it away. He does the rubbish job of cleaning the fridge. So I think I might just take a leisurely drive up to his work and wait for him. I mean, the food's not going to defrost. It's flipping freezing. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So there we have it. 1, 2, 3 bags of shopping. And although this bag and a handful of stuff Kev's just brought in, this bag is massive because it's the one we got in the French supermarket. And I remember Kev moaning about how expensive this bag was.
It was like €4.
It was like €4, but we love it. It's huge. It fits all of our fresh and frozen in it. And then the Princess one we got from B&M. But yeah, 3 bags of shopping. I'll tell you the total in a minute. Managed to get everything out on the side in one go. All the fresh, all the frozen, and all the cupboard, because you don't get much for your money anymore. So that is all of the main bulk of the shopping, starting off with 2 milks and an apple juice. I've got the kids' milkshakes, currently not on my prices. They're now £1.20, hoping they'll go back to 80p for me. We're having a roast pork dinner tomorrow, and then chicken breasts. I have got one thing of chicken thighs in the freezer, which I'm going to use this week. Otherwise, they're going to be no good because they've been in there for ages. And I'm going to make 3 chicken meals this week. One is going to be chicken, lemon... yeah, I've done those, Kev. Chicken, lemon, honey, rice dish. Sorry, I'm losing all train of thought because Kev was trying to ask me something. Yeah, honey, chicken, lemon, rice dish. Chicken, bacon with this cooking bacon as well, and leek pie. And then we're going to have these spicy chicken wraps, and the rest of the kids that don't like spicy things, like the younger ones, are going to have the usual breaded chicken steak sliced up in and made chicken wraps. We're having a fake away Five Guys because everyone loves that. I will need to get the bread rolls for this, but I'll buy them on the day that we're going to have it, so they're nice and fresh. But yeah, we're going to have fake away Five Guys with homemade fries and salad. It'll be really delicious. And then I've got a 5% fat mince for a lasagna. Oh, and I've also got a chorizo, and I've got 1 chorizo in the fridge, and I'm going to make the penne creamy chorizo pasta that all the kids like. So that is 7 meals, if you followed that. 3 chicken meals, a roast pork, a burgers, a lasagna, and a chorizo pasta. And that's 7 dinners for the week. I've got ham, bacon and ham for like sandwiches and paninis, some of Riley's favourite pasta, and these are reduced to £1.75 So I picked them up. The kids can just have them after school as an after school snack. And to be fair, they'll be absolutely fine for lunch boxes tomorrow as well. And actually, just seen that they say suitable for freezing. So I could have bought some more and frozen them for picnics in the Easter holidays. But never mind. To be fair, we probably don't have that much room in our freezer. I picked up garlic baguettes because originally I was going to make spaghetti bolognese, and then I changed my mind to having lasagna instead because we've already got like quite a lot of pasta this week, and I thought lasagna with some coleslaw and salad. But now I've got loads of garlic baguettes. We can have those with the chorizo pasta though, couldn't we? Oh, we're going with lasagna. Yeah, I normally do spaghetti bolognese with garlic bread, and then lasagna I do with coleslaw. So I picked up the coleslaw. That was on my prices for £1.68. So we'll probably have lasagna, coleslaw, salad, and use the garlic breads with the chorizo pasta. I picked these up because they were reduced, and Kev loves these trifles. £2.19 down from £2.75. They weren't massively reduced, but I know that Kev loves these little trifles. In fact, he loves the big trifles and would eat a whole one to himself. Okay, we would usually share it and eat half of one each, but instead we've got some of these more portion controlled ones. How many calories are in one of them? 179. Not too bad.
In a minute, because they'll be gone by the time the kids get them.
Yeah, as soon as the kids see them, you better grab one now. I bought Kev because he's been, obviously, like I said last week, he's given up vaping, so he was really snacking. I brought him some Muller rices, and I think reset 5 out of the 6, didn't he?
I got one.
Then reset the rest. So Kev's like, right, I better eat one now, or I'll never see it again. Strip cheeses for lunch boxes. Soft cheese is to go in the pie filling. Butter. I've got some baking blocks because I'm going to make pastry for the chicken pie, so I'll need some butter for that. But also, these are just ideal to have in the fridge for whenever anyone fancies baking. The cookies that we made the other day were delicious, so maybe we'll make some more of those. I've got some fat-free natural yogurt. Now that's needed for the spicy chicken wraps that we're making. You make like a yogurt dressing with sriracha and other bits and bobs. So I got one of those. I've also got some fat-free Greek-style honey yogurt because Summer loves that for her breakfast, and also I'm going to make some smoothies with a smoothie mix I picked up. I picked up 2 bags of smoothie mix last week. I've still got 1 in the freezer, so I'll add some yogurt to that as well. I've got a big thing of single cream for the chorizo pasta. I'm passing this all to Kev as I go, as he's putting it away. This is the sliced cheese for the burgers. This is the parmesan for the chorizo pasta, and I picked up a block of their Mary Ann's cheese, which I don't think is too shabby. It's all right, it's fine, and it is £3.03 for 600 grams. Now I buy the more nicer stuff if it's on my prices for like £2.50, but no cheese is on my prices this week, and the cheapest block of cheese, which is smaller than this block, was about £3.70. So this at £3.03 is ideal. Got 2 packs of tube yogurts for lunch boxes. Can you pop those in the freezer? I'll pop them both in the freezer, I would. And that's everything for fresh. So then on to frozen. I've got the chicken steaks to make the chicken wraps for the children that don't want the spicy ones. So Jamie, Brooke, me, Kev, and potentially Riley will have the spicy, but Reese hates anything spicy. Summer doesn't like spicy, and the 3 little ones, obviously, the 2 little ones will just want plain chicken wraps. So that's for them. I've got some sweet corn and some petit pois, just because the freezer always needs a stock of that sort of thing, and some honey roast parsnips. These are Kev's favourite convenience vegetable. Honey roast parsnips by Aunt Bessie's. If they're on offer, he always likes to pick those up, and they were on offer for £1.50. I've also got some corn on the cobs to go with our burgers on burger night, and a bag of chips just because they're ideal just to have in the freezer. I've also got 2 pizzas. I'll do cold pizza for lunchbox one day, and I've got frozen Yorkshire puddings because I can't get eggs. There was no eggs at all in Sainsburys, so I've had to go for the frozen ones. Oh, and also a tub of raspberry trifle ice cream. These tubs were on offer for £1.80, so that's going to be dessert one day. Although I say dessert, you might notice I didn't buy any split pots, didn't buy much yogurt or anything this week, because all of the split pots that I bought last week, all of the chocolate mousses, they're all still in the fridge, completely untouched. So I buy stuff for dessert, but we very rarely have dessert. The kids, once they've eaten their tea, they're not hungry and they're just not overly fussed. But I do like to have some bits in the house for them for desserts. In the week if they fancy them, but yeah, I've still got loads in the fridge from last week. There's ice cream here, Kev. I'll just stretch around past that to Kev, and then on to cupboard stuff. I've got, you might have seen from the little bit of footage I took, that there wasn't very much pasta on the shelf. It was like COVID all over again. There was barely any pasta. So the only penne I could get was this small bag of quick cook penne, which is fine. That's enough with what I've probably got left in the cupboard. That'll be enough for a meal. But I like to buy the 1 kilogram bags. I got lasagna sheets because I couldn't remember off the top of my head if we needed any or not. And I got some packs of this easy rice because they're always handy to have in the cupboard. Kev's trashing the place. He's already thrown a can of Pepsi Max across the floor since he's been in. He thought it was an empty can, went to pick it up and it dropped it on the floor, and he realised, and he was like, actually I just opened that and now I've just wasted it all over the floor. I got baked beans again, didn't know if we needed baked beans, but I picked them up anyway. Some more juices for lunch boxes, so I've got 4 days worth of lunch boxes left, and I've got enough drinks for the week. There was 3 bottles of this, but obviously one of them I was drinking in the car, and I've left it in the car. Fizzy water, 2 bottles of squash, because I had been buying just 1 bottle, but I've had to go out the last 2 weeks on the weekend and buy another bottle, so I've picked up 2 this week. I've got light soy sauce. It was light that I needed to buy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I brought dark yesterday.
Okay, so I got light soy sauce because we needed that. Some gravy granules. Riley used the last of the peanut butter this morning, so I've got that. I've got some pickle and some white lasagna sauce because I just prefer that to making my own. Some stuffing and ketchup. Ketchup has got very expensive. This is not even the biggest bottle. This is the medium-sized bottle, and that's now £1.10. So I think ketchup is going up in price. Is it to do with the fact that tomatoes are like... Kev says that's the reason, it's because we can't get tomatoes. Although, I've managed to get peppers and tomatoes today. Couldn't get eggs, but I did manage peppers and tomatoes. I was just talking about tomato ketchup, but the battery died on my phone, so I'm now over to Kev's phone. I've got some of this tomato and basil stirring sauce for Riley's pasta, and some cartons of chopped tomatoes. I've got 2 garlic, 1 chilli, and 1 herbs. Crisps, I've got just 1 packet because we've got plenty of crisps still in the crisp basket, so I just got some squares. And then, cereal, I got the Cheerios for the younger girls, they quite like those, and this strawberry white chocolate crisp Jamie, Brooke and Riley like. Reese and Summer don't tend to eat cereal. They prefer like yogurt and fruit or toast. And paninis. Yeah, paninis. That's what Reese likes, paninis. And then chocolate-wise, I picked up these Dairy Milk little bars. So the other day I did a vlog. You might have seen it or you might not have. Depends if you watch our other vlogs as well. And I bought those Dairy Milk, like the little calorie controlled bars. They're like 90-something calories, these little nugget bars. And they were £1.35 for 5, and they were minute, they were tiny. So I picked these up, there's 6 bars, and they are 96 calories. So worked out cheaper, and you still get a little bit of a chocolate fix without going overboard with a family size bar, which I like to do quite often. I got Kev some toffee crisps because he hasn't had any of those for ages, and I thought if I'm buying myself some treat chocolate, I'll get him some. And I got some Happy Hippos as well because the girls love those. I've got some jam sandwiches, party rings, chocolate digestives, and the boring rich teas. Some animal biscuits, and Summer asked for some caramel Snacker Jacks. So that is everything from cupboard stuff and fresh and frozen. And I didn't have to buy much for lunchbox stuff because we've got loads. Yeah, we went in when we were in Farm Food yesterday. I bought one of the big selections of the little cookies and stuff, and also these Viscount in a bar, like not little round ones, but in a bar. So I got those, and yeah, they've got The older boys have still got a few of these bigger chocolate bars I picked up when I was in Aldi. But there's plenty of snacky bits still left up in our snack cupboard. And I'm trying to put out the next lot to show you, and he's just started to just rip everything out the cupboard. And huff and puff a lot. It is annoying. It is really annoying because this is... Summer specifically asked me to buy those the other day, and she ate 2, and then the rest have all been wasted. Look at that. In fact, this new loaf of seeded bread, I'm going to split that in half and put half in the freezer. Oh, there's no room in the freezer. It's so frustrating because I prefer this bread, and so does Felicity. But but you're just never here to eat it. You're always at work, so it ends up like that. We eat half a loaf, and well, that's not even half a loaf eaten.
You can buy half loaf.
Yeah, but not at that price. You can only buy the branded stuff that's twice the price. That's only 85p. But it's so much waste. So much wastage this week. Anyway, this is what bread I've bought for this week. It'll probably still be in the cupboard next week. 1 loaf of toasty, 1 loaf of the lightly seeded, which I just said I'd like to put half of that in the freezer. 2 packs of paninis, 2 packs of wraps, and 2 packs of these pancakes. Like I said, I bought those because I can't get eggs. Those with some fruit in the morning. And then non-food items, I've got 2 shower gels, some washing liquid, some softener, and some toilet roll. We've got fairy liquid because we'd ran out. Kev picked that up on the weekend. So that was everything I believe that I needed for non-food. Okay, so fruit and veg, I've got 1 bag of baking potatoes, a bag of sweet potato, and a bag of shallot potatoes. I've got 2 bags of carrots, and I've got 2 heads of broccoli. Now, me and Kev have just been discussing whether or not it's okay to do what we've been doing with broccoli. So when we're in the shop, they've got this massive, huge stalk on them, and you have to pay by weight. So last week, or the week before, whenever we last bought broccoli, Kev snapped off the stalk, and then it weighed like half the weight. And then I was like, he's like, you're going to tell everybody our trick about broccoli? And I'm like, well, I don't know if it's actually legal. Are you allowed to do that? Like, I'm like, will I get in trouble for doing it? Because there's bound to be someone who's going to ring up Sainsburys, make a call and say, this lady that's been shopping in your store has been snapping the broccoli ends off. But anyway, I don't know if it's legal or not, but it made my broccoli 83p instead of over £1. So that's what I did. Whether it was right or wrong, I do not know. Kev says it's right. I think I might be a little bit wrong. I've got 2 leeks for the leek and potato pie. I've also got some spring greens. There's loads in there for 80p. Some little gem lettuces, a swede, mushrooms, iceberg lettuce, cucumbers, normal salad tomatoes, and some plum tomatoes. I've got some basil and some parsley and peppers. I mean, we couldn't get peppers for a week, and now all of a sudden they've all been on steroids. They're absolutely massive. So I've got 2 yellow and 2 red, huge giant peppers. And then I've got a small bunch of bananas. Not very many of us eat bananas. I'll eat the occasional banana, especially if I have it on like Weetabix. And Brooke eats banana. And that's about it, isn't it?
You could always peel them and leave them peels there as well.
So take the peels off the bananas and only pay for the actual banana. I think that might get some odd looks and they'd go brown. But yeah, those are also done by weight. So I've got 2 things of easy peelers, 2 apples, some grapes, some kiwis, strawberries and raspberries that will be used tomorrow because obviously they don't keep, so they'll have those on their breakfast, and 2 lemons. And that is everything, I believe. Shopping came to a grand total of £164.10. And then when I took off the collie discount, which is still at 10%, it came down to £147.69p. And my nectar is not as healthy as it should have been. The other week I used £20 for my nectar points, and now I'm back down to just over £20. So I'm going to try and build it back up again. But yeah, I ended up having to use some, and then I was gutted that I'd had to use them. But yeah, that was this week's shopping total. Excuse me, this jogging bottoms hanging up here and a dressing gown here. These were drying. This has just been dumped. That's my shopping done for the week. 7 meals, and pretty much I think we've got everything that we need for the week, bar the usual top-ups. So I'm really impressed that it came in under the 150 mark. We have said that we are going to up our shopping budget to 170, just so we've got that extra if needs be. We're going to do that from next month, so from April. But for now, I've kept it under 150, so I'm super, super happy. And because we've done teamwork with putting it all away, we've got an hour until school run. A whole hour. What am I going to do with myself? Probably some of the housework and tidying up. But yeah, I'm happy with the total on that food shopping for this week, and it's done for another week, which is the main thing. We did talk about whether or not we could do like a monthly shop and then smaller shops each week, but when we were talking about it and thinking about it, we were like, right, if we buy 2 bottles of squash every week, then we need to buy 8. Where are we going to store 8 bottles of squash? We buy 2 trays of chicken a week. Where are we going to store 8 trays of chicken? Because we did talk about getting a chest freezer and doing like one big monthly shop and then just a weekly shop for the fresh stuff. But we just don't have the storage in our house for it. We really don't. If I could find storage for it, I absolutely would prefer to do that. You know, stock up on a month's worth of squash, a month's worth of tin tomatoes, passatas, all of the cupboard stuff. Get all of that in one go. Like take 2 trolleys, and then all I'd have to do every week was go out for fresh fruit, veg, yogurts and such. But for now, there's no room. There's no room for that. I could do with like, you know, like one of those massive American pantries. Now that would be lovely. If I could just move some of the kids out, I could just turn one of their bedrooms into a pantry. But for now, I'm weekly shopping. So yeah, thank you for watching our food shop. Hope that you liked me doing a few little bits of footage in the shop. If anyone wants me to do that again, or wants certain things me to show something that I didn't show, then let me know and I'll try and do it again next week. I'm also going to really try to do another meals of the week. Every week I say I'm going to do a meals of the week, and then I never ever manage it, because I kind of can put the meals in with like my usual daily vlog, and also by the time it comes to tea time of an evening, it's just like, get this food cooked, get these kids fed and get them to bed. There's no time for filming it. But I will try my best to do it again this week, because I know that a lot of you do enjoy that. But for now, I'm going to head off and enjoy an hour's worth of peace and quiet before the kids come home from school. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next week.